This energy has been coming up a lot lately. That one who got away, or were they? Kind of thing. I get that. So let's find out. What is it that you need to know about this lingering thought in your mind? Let's just cut to the chase here. I think that there was a lot of work that you did in making that whatever dynamic you guys had what it was. You did make it very, very beautiful. And before they decided to sabotage it, it was absolutely perfect. And there's no reason for you to doubt that aspect of the way it felt like paradise, the way it felt like untouchable even. I totally get that. But there's also something distinctly different about them from other people where you've had maybe not exactly that level of paradise, but that similar kind of vibe, is that for some reason, they are the situations that you guys shared and the way you dealt with them, the dynamic you guys had was equally as beautiful as it was ugly. Okay, interesting. Mm, the Fool. I think that this says you were smart enough to let it go when you did. And you knew that you had this loyalty to them. You knew that there was a reason to keep trying. And you've got to remember that part. Remember how hard you tried towards the end of it. Yeah. This was not something where they just got away. If you had stuck around, they would have just treated you worse and worse and worse and worse. And that's why you finally just said, I can't do this anymore. But I don't think you knew that, right? Because it didn't happen. You left when you left. But just so you know, you don't owe them any loyalty. They could be a different person even now. They could be better, all these different things. But I feel like there was almost an entitlement in their energy to you treating them that way and them being allowed to treat you any kind of way. Okay, hold on, because this is like pow, pow, pow. They were more focused on what they could get because that is how they'd been operating for a very long time. And even though there could be some that have grown out of that, I don't think that you really fully grow out of that quickly. So think about how long it has or hasn't been. I also think that it doesn't really matter for this particular person because there's something about the way they saw things back then that is still true today. So even if they've changed, they don't look back at that time and think they did anything wrong. In fact, they probably still think that you and them, everything played out exactly as it was supposed to. So this is like, man, you saw the beautiful in them and you saw the things that were worth working hard for. But for some reason, something in you, the more love you showed them, they were triggered to be awful to you. I know this might sound even a little bit like about a narcissist or something, but I don't think it's always going to be that deep, guys. All right, last card. Whoa. Hold on. That's way too many. I was like, I can't pull all those. What do you need to understand about this? Why is this coming up? Nine of Wands. This says, watch out. They're going to come back because that's the kind of person they are. Even if they have evolved, even if they've grown, whatever, even if they've realized they made mistakes back then with you, this is not a part of that. They would do this even if they hadn't grown up. Ooh, I don't know where I just feel like someone just went, oh, that's true. Okay. They're the type that hits up all their exes just to see what's up, that maintains stupid friendships and negative things just because it's like they can't let things go. Don't get attached. I feel like this person was your test, not your person. They were a person, but not your person. And the fond memories of how beautiful they participated in all the effort you made is not the whole relationship. And I think maybe you were brought to this message to remind you of what the whole relationship did look like, and that there was never any reciprocity. There was only taking. They were open to what you had to give them, but they never gave back, and they never really even appreciated it. So if you want to be taken for granted again, go ahead and try. But if I were you, I would definitely heed the warning your past self gave when you were out of there. All right, good luck. For real, good luck. Peace.